session 0 of season 2 of the last fairy tale, Changeling the Dreaming Chronicle. And one of the things that we're really playing with in this chronicle is the really cool setting element about how changelings reincarnate and how they have all these different past lives. So, unfortunately, we're down a member. Panda is having a migraine, and we miss her, and we hope she can be back with us next week. But for this week, we're going to sort of discuss who our characters were in Wales and who they are now in this setting. And so this setting is going to be early 1200s Constantinople. That might be an important date to history buffs. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, just maybe. Little thing happened there.
Little thing, not that important in the grand scheme of things. Uh, anyway, so
Oh! Sorry.
you okay?
So, I thought someone was gonna say something about it. I'm like, okay, never.
Okay.
A little. Thank you.
Anyway, so this is Constantinople. It is the seat of the Byzantine Empire, which a lot of historians now sort of look to as an extension of the Roman Empire. So Rome didn't fall, just half the empire did. The other half is doing just fine in Greece. The dominant religion is Eastern Orthodox Christianity. They have a very unique practice of revering their icons. These are painted images of holy figures, saints, Jesus, Mary, the Trinity. A huge conflict over whether this is idolatry or not. It seems to have been settled by this point. Maybe. We'll find out. Uh, anyway, this is important for this game because as they are objects of such great reverence and devotion, they could also be fonts of glamour or banality, depending on how people think of this specific icon. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm Armenian, so I do know some Eastern Orthodox stuff. That'll be fun. Nothing like filling a room with so much incense that everybody gets a migraine.
Oh, I did not know you were Armenian. That's
Yeah,
cool.
Armenian Syrian.
Neat.
That's why I'm choosing a Bedouin because they're from Syria-ish, that area.
Very cool. Yeah, so that sort of leads into uh, the first question, which is, who are you right now?
In real life, my name's Harry Wyckoff. In
No.
this, yes, I know, in the game. So who am I right now? Is in pre-transformation or in Byzantium?
uh, we can talk about both. Like, talk about who was your character? How do you see them changing?
Yes. My character was Euron Blackwood. He was a troll, very focused on keeping the peace. Generally avoided violence as best as he could, except for the few times he didn't. uh, Slow to anger, at least physically. Um, really deeply cares about his community. I'm thinking of changing a good bit of that.
Okay, what do you think you're changing it to?
Um, One thing that I felt like I didn't. I wanted to show off him being strong more, but I feel like I did that plenty actually. So what I'm gonna change is I think I'm gonna, instead of having him be a staunch keeper of the peace
Mm-hmm.
and this organized, head of the guard force essentially, I'm gonna have this character be a drifter who's almost more of a vigilante
Okay,
and operates outside of the legal systems in place.
that sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm. Fun for me,
Uh,
maybe a pain in the ass for the DM, but we'll see.
I'll take that challenge. All right, Rob, Tori. So,
Yeah. Well, so I initially didn't even realize because I was playing Famor Sungrave, the Unseelie Satyr, and I didn't realize that in my human form, my human name was Winston Karn. So I had everybody calling me Famor when everybody should have been calling me Winston. But yet again, I digress for the simple reason that I have a better understanding. So once we have transformed, because my former backstory was I was just a traveler, just going from bar to bar, singing and singing. Now I have turned, and my new human name is Marcusio Maloney, and
Okay.
I am actually a assassin in training because I am a former Roman soldier that has left because of the fall of the empire. I have left and I am just wandering the land, just meeting new people and traveling and learning new things. And now I am upon this land, and I have learned a many a things and adopted a many a voices. So you shall learn, Mercutio Maloney. My father and my mother have died when they were young, and I vowed to die an honorable death, for I am here. If you guys do
Yeah.
not understand, it is like is actually a play of Matches Malone, which is Bruce Wayne's, aka Batman's alter ego as a regular person. So I am adapting that background plus with the time of the story, putting these things together and making it interesting. And because the last time my last character was just happy go lucky, now and an assassin in training, I want to be able to make mistakes and actually be able to learn and grow as a character in the game instead of just playing the game. I want my character to grow and learn from mistakes. And hey, everybody knows you mess up, interesting things happen.
Yeah. So,
You get dragged along on a dream quest.
yeah. So, a little bit of calibration. When I talk about the fall of the Roman Empire, that happened 800 years previous to this game.
Yeah.
Uh, well, I'm just an old. I'm an
Yeah.
old Roman soldier that has left, and I'm still traveling.
Yeah, you could definitely be an Italian mercenary if that's what you want.
Sure, there we go. All right,
Okay.
okay. Backstory still the same though, but just I'm a time mercenary for my mother and my father.
Yeah, because Italy's still there. There's Kingdom of Italy. It's a little fractured, but Venice is around.
I shall find the men that have killed my mother and father. I shall find your organization.
Okay. So who do you see yourself as taking uh assassin training from?
I have taken assassin training from some of the most wise assassins from here upon the land. First, I started my training in Italy, dealing and working with some of the best swordsmen that I could find around. Fencemen, longswords, broadswords. Then I practiced in ballet to keep nimble and agile. I have traveled with some of the most fantastic of circuses all across the
Okay.
land.
So here's an idea
Oh, here's a.
Are
because
you
Oh,
shutting me
sorry.
down right now?
no. So there is an actual assassin order that is in operation right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
then.
the Hashashin
The
that
Hashashin,
yeah.
the
Oh,
users of hashish, as their name means.
hence what I was telling you before, Game Master. I kind of wanted to follow that. The,
Yes.
You see, here's a
okay.
little note. That was gonna be a secret that Alasfa had, my character, where he was gonna also be of the Hashashin.
You see, because we were talking about this earlier, and we were
He
like, yo, I kind of wanted to be like an assassin from training from one of the original orders of the assassins, and I kind of want to tie it in with a certain franchise that does not sounds kind of like uh Hong Ik. So And I was like, oh man, in my head canon, I'm part of the Onyx web, universe and stuff. Even though we could get a certain
Sorry, I don't
person.
know this series. Which
Yeah, I
series?
know. Yeah, John Wick, dude.
John Wick. Oh, John Wick.
Yeah, come on, you serious?
I'm an idiot.
I said
I've been in this room for 5 days, man. My brain's addled. I had a fever until like 2 days ago. It was 103. 103.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, so what if you were both members of the Hashashin? Because Rob, you said
That's
you wanted
absolutely possible.
to be an assassin in training.
Rachel, I'm from the Hashashin too.
And if you wanna,
Assassin gang. We just
just
show
don't
up
play
into Byzantium, start killing everybody.
I mean,
Totally
No,
Totally kidding. I have
that would
my
be a
own thing.
nightmare.
I don't
we could
copy.
make you a Templar.
Yo, you
That
never
would
know.
be fun.
Tori, your character could be part of the assassin, yo. Everybody, have you not seen John Wick?
Rachel's an assassin too.
I've seen John Wick.
Everywhere. But yeah, that would be my so I have the order. I'm in.
Cool.
Tori.
So heads up, I'm using the lore within the World of Darkness. So Alamute exists. The Old Man of the Mountain exists in strange and interesting ways.
Okay, can you explain who those people are? Just for the people out there that don't
Yes.
understand.
Yeah, the people that totally
Yeah.
aren't in this room right now.
So Alamute is the headquarters of the Hashashin, both within the game world and the real world. It is ruled by someone calling themselves the Old Man in the Mountain. In the real world, this was Hassan Isaba. In the World of Darkness, it's the eldest of Clan Assamite.
Okay.
So, if you're familiar with Vampire the Masquerade, the Assamites are assassin vampires, deeply religious assassin vampires, because I already totally wasn't planning on having some vampire crossover in this season.
Girl, don't you start with that. Don't you start with that. Oh, we're all in the world of the changing right now.
No, it's great. I love the Assamites, one of my favorite clans.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
All hell set. I mean, what? All right. Cool. So, Rob, you're playing an Italian who is petitioning for membership within the Hashashin. While Harry's character is probably your mentor.
Perhaps.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe we could
already shutting me down, bro.
No, that was a good perhaps.
Hey.
That was not a bad perhaps.
If you have a gold coin, maybe. I'm like, really, dude?
No, that's a good perhaps.
Like, give the assassin a try.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I think I'm
Tori.
pretty. Is my
I'm good with him being a. I'm good with being a mentor.
Awesome. So Tori, we totally talked about a little bit about how you wanted to be she and sort of assume a leadership role, but this is Byzantine Empire. Sexism is still a thing. So we sort of talked about well, you could run a nunnery. You could be the abbess of a nunnery. One other option I want to put forward, so the Templars and the Hashashin were very historic rivals. If you wanted to be associated with that faction, I don't know if that is the sort of interpersonal drama you want.
Harry is very much encouraging
we know what
this.
Harry's was. Yeah. Just as a note, I've never played the Assassin's Creed video games. I know they exist. I lied. I played half of the first one. I had a lot of fun.
First and second one.
Everything I'm doing with Hashashin and Templars comes from the fact that I'm weird and read about weird things.
And also history.
Hey.
Because they have
Yeah,
some fucking
yeah,
history.
some more, baby. History, but repeats
What
itself.
was it? Their fortress in Alamut was once besieged by a force led by the Templars, and
Yes.
there was no way they could break the siege by force. Like they were a few dozen guys in or a couple hundred guys in a castle, stoned out of their mind. And
Yeah.
so what? Hassan, what the fuck's his last name? Why am I forgetting that? Or his
Isaba.
Yeah. What he did was he ordered one of his men to leave a dagger under the pillow of the general commanding the army, as like a sign, like, we can get you. And it broke the siege. The general pulled back. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah. So, the Templars were a European Christian military organization. They sort of saw their main goal to be escorting pilgrims to the Holy Land, and keeping them safe from all the perils on the road. They were maybe up to some mystical stuff. This is the world of darkness, so I'm going to say they were definitely up to some mystical stuff. And there is some evidence that they let women into their ranks.
Mm-hmm. They were also bankers.
Well, that's
Yes.
Because they're
pretty
smart
cool.
and progressive.
Well, that's what got them killed.
Yeah,
I'm
and also
saying
the
he
fact
got-
that they were building such a successful financial empire that the Catholic Church began to worry and killed
Thank
them
you
all.
for saying that. I love how you just said that right after I said that. Oh, they're smart and progressive for letting women in. That's why they got killed. I'm like, wow, thanks.
Welcome to medieval Europe, man.
It was
You know?
the banking that got them killed.
Yeah.
A
There
king
you
of
go.
France, a king of France figured out it was cheaper to murder them all than to pay them back.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yep.
Wow.
We saw what
Well,
happened last
I'll
game.
have to research all this because you guys all know about Constantinople, and
It's so fun.
I knew
it's
it was
crazy.
a song.
Well, so you could be a lodge mistress for the Knights Templar. Alternatively, you could also be associated with the Varangian Guard. They were basically Vikings who worked in Constantinople as mercenaries. They were part of the emperor's personal guard. And so this was like a thing that they would do for hundreds of years. You were a young Nordic looking to prove yourself. You sailed to Constantinople and worked as a mercenary for a couple years and made your fortune that way.
I like that. That sounds kind of good. I mean, yeah. If you can write that down so I can look into it. Like,
Yes.
But my
Yes.
thing is like, the one problem about this game is that it is all about actual history, and
A little
my
bit.
bullshittedness doesn't work as well.
Well,
I'm
Don't worry
down.
about it.
I can bullshit the crap out of things, and then
Look.
this is like, no, this is an exact date in history, and I'm like,
Once you learn
Fascinating.
history, you can bullshit your way through fucking anything and still sound smart, even if you aren't. This
Yep.
is why you need to learn history. I'm dumb, but I can get people to think I'm smart because I can throw out dates and shit.
And facts, yeah. As long as you throw out some facts and just mumble some in between, yeah.
I
Plus
mean, and if you end up running a show on Twitch, you can use history.
I already do.
Steal ideas.
yeah.
I like
That's the
it.
entirety
I
of my
like it.
podcast.
I'm also learning. I love that I'm learning.
Yes.
But I'm like, oh shit, like who, like these, like, oh, vampire guys, and you're like, no, but this is actually based off real thing, and I'm like, oh, we got rules. I like the
All
rules.
up top.
Yeah. When
I'll
they
tell
were
you,
writing
Sparks are
World
nice.
of Darkness, they looted world history for all the good ideas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's full of fun stuff.
So
Yeah.
tell me who I am.
Bad shit.
Who am I?
Fun,
Okay,
fun
so-
shit.
Three options for you to be sort of a leader in charge. You could be the leader of the abbess that we sort of talked about earlier. You could be a lodge mistress for the Knights Templar, which would probably bring you into tension with Harry and Rob's character.
What
So
would
it's
a
up to you
lodge
guys.
mistress do? Do I have sex there, or
No, no. You basically command.
Attention, girl.
You would command a small army of very devoted knights.
They're very devoted. Very devoted.
Yeah. And if you wanted to be Varangian Guard, you would be sort of a Nordic Viking shield maiden here to kick ass and take names.
So the problem with that is that I don't really kick ass.
That's fair.
So
That's true.
I wouldn't
But-
mind commanding the
Okay.
soldiers. I could be the lodge lady.
Okay, cool.
The
Just
lady
to
of the
let you
lodge.
know, but question, Rachel,
Mhm.
if you were to be with the Knights Templar, that means that she would have more favor with the royalty, right? Because the Knights Templar basically and royalty were just like hand in hand at that time.
Up until the Crusaders show up, yes.
So then, Tori, would you want to do that? If you want to be be more influential with the royalty, you could go that way because Knights Templar are like celebrities at that time. Before they started killing people, just massacring people. Gods, oh man, history. That really happened.
I
Anyway,
guess
Holy Wars.
if that one is the more power one, I'm all about intellectual power. That's what I want. Intellectual political power. So
Okay.
if that is what that does, sure.
All right. In that case, I think probably running the nunnery is your best route for that. But we can still give you ties to the other groups if you'd like.
I don't know.
Okay.
Also,
Okay.
talking about intellectual power,
really,
being
like,
a head of a Templar
I've said
lodge
what I
would be-
wanted to do. I want to influence and make money and get rich.
That would be a Templar.
Templars.
Templars.
That's what I'm saying. Templars, dude. That's
Okay. All right. So,
I'm not wrong, but like maybe
You don't need to
I
be
got
strong
15,
to be
I have
part of the
25
Templars.
points of things to put it
so
in. I can be strong.
you don't necessarily need to be strong. You just need to be a good administrator.
Yeah, you could be like Littlefinger, Game of Thrones. He's very smart strategically, but he's not strong like body wise.
Okay.
Yeah. So you should know how to hold your own in a fight, but you don't have to be, Jon Snow.
I like that. You don't have to be that. Yeah, that's true. That's
Okay.
true, yeah.
Then
Okay.
am I the Viking people? Because I got
Templars. Because you want to get rich, that would be Templars.
So I am
Yeah.
a knight of Templar.
You're
Yes.
getting paid,
Those
yo.
two
You're
dots
getting
of
paid
treasure, that would
coin.
bring my treasures up to 5. What would that mean?
So you could have one really, really cool thing, or a couple small, really cool things.
Like one really cool thing, like a magical
Awesome.
scimitar or something like that.
A
Yeah.
scimitar? You mean, is it a scimitar a guitar?
Scimitar? No. A sitar is a guitar. A scimitar is a
Oh.
curved sword.
Ooh, got it. The more the Middle Eastern style
Yes.
swords. Gotcha, and I remember. Thank you for that. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, because my character's a
But
bell
that's
and it
because
makes
you have
sense.
5 treasure. So what can you do if you have like 2 or 3 treasure?
Well, we'll
Because-
get there. We'll get there.
Okay, I'm sorry for pushing that ahead.
No, that's fine. Okay, so now that we've sort of figured out who everybody is, take a look at your attributes. So your physical, social, mental. These are sort of a representation of who you are as a fairy and who you are as a mortal. And so if you want to move any dots around to sort of reflect your new life, you can do that right now.
Oh.
Yep, I've moved around
Repeat
my
that one more
knowledge
time,
and
repeat that.
law, moved all of that to stealth.
Nice.
Repeat that last line one more time.
So if you look at your attributes, physical, social,
I'm on
mental, you can move them as much as you like in between each other. Keep in mind that as a satyr, you still get bonus dots of strength. And Tori, as a she, you get bonus dots in appearance. So you can't really move those, but you can move everything else.
So if I had dots on charisma, I could move that around to something else.
Yes.
Okay, and that's not including the experience points that we get.
No, we'll get to that in a bit.
Okay.
All right.
So physical could only move into physical.
Nope, you can move them. You can move them.
Anyway, interesting.
Just have like 25 dots in Brawl.
Yeah, I mean,
We call that the Euron Blackwood.
Our abilities are where we can put the experience points, right?
I'm sorry?
Is the experience points we gained from the last session where we put that in abilities?
We're not putting those yet.
Yes, we'll get to experience a little bit.
Of course. So attributes, yeah.
Yes, and so yeah, and so now you can do the same thing with abilities. So if you have dots in academics and you're like, this character, this one didn't receive the best education, so I'm going to put a dot into melee, or vice versa. You can do that right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, I am doing that right now.
So
I forget what
Grimory is magic. It is changeling magic.
What about enigmas?
Wait, no. Okay, so enigmas is puzzles. Kenning under talents is changeling magic. Grimory is magic in general.
All right, enigmas.
Grimory, yes.
Yeah, so Tori, for you, if you don't have any dots in melee, you want to probably pick up at least one or two.
I do have dots in melee. I just decided to get rid of 2 enigmas, and then I was thinking putting it in like brawl or athletics.
Yeah, those are both good choices.
What's kenning again?
Kenning is understanding Fae magic.
Okay, and
I don't think I care about animals as much.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be. We're
not one dot in academics and move it to Grimory.
Subterfuge again? One more time.
Subterfuge is being able to lie to people.
Yes.
So you probably would also want some stealth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my character is heavily spec'd out of charisma stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's a troll. But mainly focused on the, the larceny, the stealth, the melee.
True. I'm looking at mine right now. I'm just redoing. Yeah, I'm taking. Don't need that. I got brawl, intimidation. Definitely substituting that for that. Leave that at 1. Leave that 1. I'm almost done. So sorry about that, guys.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't need that anymore. Yeah, I was like, what's it called? I'm like, what's enigmas? One more time.
Being able to solve mystical puzzles.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I was like, yeah, I don't think my character's gonna need to know that. But so that's why I'm taking that one off. I'm taking 1 off of medicine, but I'm still gonna keep medicine. I'm gonna keep politics. I'm gonna take 1 off of investigation though. Keep 1 on and then put it on for that. And then last, I just have 1 more that I need to. And okay, I am good.
Okay. Next question. Does anyone want to change their seeming? So, as a refresher for how it goes, you've got your immortal fairy soul that at some point, usually in childhood or early adolescence, but not always, your fairy soul wakes up. And so you all of a sudden, you're going through your normal mortal life, and then all of a sudden you remember being a princess of Arcadia or being a satyr in Wales. And so when this happens, you sort of go through this process where you wake up to your fairy identity and everything is wonderful and this world is so amazing and it's so exciting and you're just full of childlike wonder and you love everything that's going on. And then a while older, you start to get a little more burdened with the responsibilities of daily life. Like maybe you've got people who depend on you to take care of them, and so you've got to take a job that you don't really like. Or you become a leader of the local freehold, and this means that you're responsible for all these other people, and that sort of weighs down on you. And so you become a little more practical. And then the third stage is grump. This is when you become sort of cranky, you start to be disillusioned. You still have moments of wonder, but they're usually more vicarious, like living through someone else. So this is personal to each incarnation. And so if you want to change your scheming uh, and sort of explore a different aspect of being changeling, so like Rob, you mentioned like your character is kind of young and a little idealistic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you could be a childling now instead.
Interesting. Cool. Let's try it then.
I think I would think the Wilder is the one that's like starting to take on responsibility.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
And one more time, just recap Childling real quick.
So you would have become aware of your fairy identity relatively recently. So normally you were living the life of I'm sorry, I'm totally blanking, Mercutio. So you're living the life of Mercutio, the Italian swordsman. And at some point, you go through an experience where you remember you're also Famor.
Okay.
Yeah, and so this would have happened pretty recently in your personal history, and you're still sort of in love with just the wonder of this new world that you've been reintroduced to.
Cool. Sweet.
Okay, what about you, Harry?
I think I'm gonna remain a grump.
Okay. Okay. Now we come to one of the final steps, backgrounds. If you want to look at your backgrounds, again, backgrounds are generally tied to your mortal life. So if you had resources, yes, that part.
Oh, that was just for the viewers.
Yeah. So, so if you had resources, if you had holdings, that was tied to your previous incarnation.
Aww.
So what you can do right now is change out all of your background dots and spend them on other things. Uh,
I might do that.
yeah, and do remember that you also have 2 free dots of treasure. These represents gifts that Oberon gave you to thank you for your service, 200 years ago, but you still have them.
All right, and the other backgrounds that we have, we could redistribute the dots anywhere on our abilities and attributes, or any other background.
Just among backgrounds.
Just among the backgrounds, same backgrounds, but just different redistribution. Got it.
Yeah, so you keep all your dots and you can put them in different categories. You can keep them if you want and just sort of like, oh, well, I managed to find my way into a similar situation.
If I'm so confused all the time. I'm like, holdings, remembrance, resources, title, treasure. I don't really get the importance of any of them.
Okay, okay, so I'm just going to go through really quickly. Allies. These are people that you know you, who are willing to do you favors.
Can we change our backgrounds, by the way?
Yes, yes.
Thank you, because I really want to rechange. Yes, I want to put allies since I am an assassin. I put
Yes.
allies.
And so when you take a dot of allies, it is with a specific group. So like allies, the Royal Guard, allies local mercenary companies, allies Thieves Guild. So Chimera, those are things that you have that exist within the dreaming. Contacts are they're kind of like allies. The big difference is that contacts will only give you information where allies could possibly do favors for you. Dreamers are people you can harvest glamour from. Holdings are estates, buildings, businesses, real estate that you own. Mentor, you have a mentor. You have someone who is invested in your well-being. Remembrance is your ability to remember your past lives. So, Tori, you don't actually need remembrance based on your unique situation.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And I have it.
I'm sorry?
And I had it, so good idea. Delete.
Yeah.
Delete.
All right, now question.
So, let me just
go first.
get through the resources is money. So because you want to be someone who's wealthy, you probably want to put a lot of dots into resources. Retinue are mortal people who will follow you, fight on your behalf. Considering that you want to be a leader among the Knights Templar, you probably want a dot in retinue. Title is the noble title. You probably want to keep your dots in that to represent I am a leader among the Kithane, among the Faerie. And then treasure are magical items that you have that do cool things.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
Yes. So I'm sorry, Rob, you had a question.
Question now. I had remembrance on now. For remembrance, if I'm a childling and I have remembrance, does that still would that affect me remembering my past lives? Wouldn't that, because I had 2 on that? Wouldn't I already know my past lives?
So remembrance, the more dots of remembrance you have, the more you can really remember, like officially. So the way it is, and the way I'm going to do this, you can remember who you were and you can remember things that you did. If some of your past lives comes into, like, if it matters. So like the dots that you moved around. What was one thing that you gave up dots in?
Well, I had 3. Well, I had, what's it called? I just changed everything around now. So basically, I have right now. I took off remembrance and I put retinue instead of remembrance.
Well, what's a skill that you gave up?
A skill that I gave up, I took. Uh, well, I didn't change any of the dots. I just took out the background that I had and just substituted. So I substituted Chimera and Holdings and Remembrance, and I substituted Contacts, Allies, and Retinue.
Okay, well, so if you had given up a dot in Brawl, if you're like, oh, I don't want to know how to brawl anymore, I'm gonna put that into subterfuge or stealth. So we're playing the game. You get into a fight, and I ask you, okay, make a brawl roll, and you're like, oh, I don't have brawl, but my previous incarnation did. I would then let you roll remembrance to see, okay, how far back can you access your memories of who you used to be?
That's interesting. Got it. That is interesting. All right, cool. Thank you for clarifying how Remembrance works, because I was just trying to, I was really confused. But all right, cool. Thank you for that. I really
You're welcome.
appreciate.
Yeah. And there's also like a little bit of role play here. So if you personally decide like, oh, I'm not gonna put a whole bunch of dots into Remembrance. Because I want to play someone who only has very vague, foggy memories of my past life. You could totally do that if that's what you wanted to do.
Cool. All right, cool. Thank you. Sweet.
Yes. Okay. Do we have any more questions about backgrounds?
No.
So retinue was how I'm able to have people follow.
Yes. Your retinue are pure mortals, maybe a canane or two, so like a half fairy.
I thought you were about to say maybe a Canadian. I'm like, what?
You know, the type of
Canada's
fairy, the
not-
Canadian.
I
You've
mean,
got the
not
trolls,
here.
you've got the puka, you've got the Canadians.
Oh, and our Canadian is down with a
I
migraine.
know, that's what I was like, Panda's not here, but I didn't know. Wait, Canadians exist?
Oh wow.
I mean, there are people
Oh, she's like, I mean, I don't
in that
really
land right
know.
now. I don't think they call themselves Canadian.
They're the wild man. So, are we moving on to arts now?
Well, so your arts and realms stay the same because that's part of your fairy soul.
Okay. So, cool.
Soul.
Yes. So now we get to spending XP. So the rules for spending XP are on page 175 of the main rulebook, which today is free. Go get it, everybody.
Yeah.
I have
And
it on
then
my phone.
there is a chart on page 176, which lists how much experience points you need to spend to get whatever you want.
I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of confusing to me.
I know, I'm sorry. They didn't put me in charge of this.
Hear that,
Question.
Onyx Path? Put Rachel in charge of everything.
At least games.
Right. When I was writing this, I wrote something that says leisure domain, and I can't see what the last word is. You know what that would be?
Ledger domain. Ooh, I think it's just one word. Oh, you might have written down the power. Let me look that up for you.
Yeah, sorry about that. Because
No, that's fine.
I was literally in a rush writing this stuff because I was so excited doing a character sheet for the first time in like 7+ years, and some of the words I can't read. But hey, oh yeah, are we still in the same courts, or are we changing courts if we want to now?
So changing court is up to you. Court is something that sticks with you, but it can change under, certain circumstances.
Okay.
Considering how shady you are as an assassin in training, you're an assassin in training. That's shady.
Ah.
I recommend staying unseelie.
Should I change to Unseelie then?
Yes.
What were you
Alright.
before?
Seelie, I was a paladin, now I'm a beast.
Ah. I'm a beast.
So Rob, the word
Yeah.
after larger domain, does it look like it might be in snare?
Possibly. Okay.
Okay, because that is the first level ledger domain power.
Okay. I have no idea what that means, but great.
So ledger domain is on page 207. So you can review that, and that'll tell you what you can do. Ensnare lets you trip someone up.
Oh hell yeah! Assassins, baby!
Yeah, it's useful.
Hell yeah! And can we switch off dots in arts too? Arts and
Uh,
realms, can we switch dots in that one also, or no?
no, because these are the parts of your fairy self that stick with you.
Okay.
But you can spend XP on buying up more arts and realms.
Sweet. Okay, cool. Which I shall be doing.
Hmm.
Oh, Harry just got a little interested. He's like, spending XP on arts and realms now.
I'm
Oh, the
currently
mischievous.
reading through Realms and trying to decide which one would be the most fun.
Oh, right. We should probably go and read.
Yeah, let me open my.
I love how Harry's like, I will go read so that they know to go read as well.
Oh.
Not what I was thinking,
Rachel, for the
but
viewers,
I'll pretend.
But what page are you on?
I was
Yes,
on page
please.
220, 219, I think.
That's where they are.
219.
Nice.
Thank you for pointing that. So, viewers at home, you can check on page 219 on your Changeling the Dreaming 20th Anniversary guidebook. Go check that out. As Rachel said, it is free right
Yes, it is. It is free today only. Onyx Path has been giving everybody a free core rule book. Today, Changeling the Dreaming is totally free. Go to Storyteller's Vault, pick it up for free. Tomorrow, Wraith will be free. So, I guess if
Wraith
you're
is going to
not
be free tomorrow.
depressed enough, go pick up Wraith.
Wraith is such a good system. I love it.
So we're supposed to be spending our XP on arts and realms, and
Well, so you can spend it on whatever you like. But if you want to change up your arts and realms, you got to spend XP to do it.
If you're getting ensnare, I'm going to maybe do something else.
So,
I don't know. I was
okay,
going
so,
to read.
Rachel, so
Yes.
can you give us, because this is the thing that we were confused about,
Okay.
point equivalent for each tier to put the XP on? That's what we got.
Oh, yes. That
Yeah.
is confusing. They wrote that in a very Okay. So, realm. So art says current rating times 4. So if you have 1 dot in an art, you spend 4 XP. If you have 2 dots in an art, you spend 8.
Oh, perfect. Then I can get
What?
2
You
dots
said what?
in the dragon thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I once did it like the other way, the way that Chronicles did it, and I shorted myself something like 86 XP.
Oof.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was wandering around my prelude with like 1 dot of intelligence. Like, I have no idea what's going on.
So Rachel, I'm having it a little like I can kind of read, but at the same time, my eyes are not seeing well.
Well, they are very gorgeous contacts.
I'm like, I can't read.
Okay, what can I look up for you?
Well, I don't. I have Sovereign right now. I have 4 dots in Sovereign.
Uh-huh.
That's my only art. I was wondering if instead of looking up, you can be like, "This is what you should do."
Okay. Yeah.
Based on the story I'm creating for you.
So if you wanted to buy up all Sovereign, so your current rating is 4, so that would be 16 XP, which I believe you should have.
I do. I have 25.
Okay. And what realms do you have?
I have Actor, Fey Affinity, and Nature.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Prop might be a good idea for you to take. Prop.
Prop. Okay.
So that lets you affect inanimate objects. So it's like even the stones in this castle love me. Or like if someone is attacking you with a sword, like, nah, your sword loves me too much.
That's pretty cool.
I love that. It's so goofy. It's so good.
Yeah. So a new realm will cost you 5 XP.
Oh.
That's 5 XP. What about abilities?
What about which?
Abilities. How much would that cost you?
So if you're buying a new ability, it is 3 XP. Then it is current rating times 2.
What does that mean?
So if you want to buy an ability that you have no dots in, The first
Mhm.
dot is 3 XP.
Gotcha.
So then your second dot would be 6 XP.
Okay. So if I already have 2 dots on there and I want to make a third dot, I would have to pay 9 XP.
Abilities, no, it is current rating times 2. So you've got 2 dots, so you'd only need to pay 4 XP.
Okay.
How many dots
Okay.
in prop do I need?
1.
Well, the first one starts to let you affect small objects, and then the more dots in prop you get, the larger you can affect. So you can save your XP for right now, and buy that up when you get there.
Okay.
So it's 8 XP right there. And then for attributes, what is that? 2 XP?
Attributes is times 4.
Okay. So it's whatever times 4.
Yeah, because you should always have at least 1 dot in an attribute.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
So advantages is 5, skills is 3, attributes is 4. And do I get any more arts, like, or because I only had sovereign? Is that
So how much XP have you spent?
right now? I've only spent 5 because I just put a dot in prop.
Okay.
I haven't done anything on sovereign yet.
All right. So if you want to buy more arts, you can totally buy more arts. You could buy sovereign up to 5. Let me check your arts and see if there's something that I think would work for you.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Nope, I got very confused and I thought I was in the BNS system for like 2 seconds, but I'm not.
Oh man, combining Skycraft with confounding coils. That'll be terrifying. So confounding coils is it's Dragon's Ire and it essentially makes you super agile on the battlefield. Skycraft gives you storm powers and its second level thing can make you crazy fast.
And what is this, an art?
Yes.
So
What page are the arts again?
I'm sorry?
The arts start on page. Here, let me pull it up for you. Sorry, I'm like. I'm
It was
pretty
like
deep into it.
219 is what you said.
That was the art I was on. 196, let's say, is where it is. 197. That's the actual page.
Wow.
Yeah, so for Tori, Chronos might be interesting for you because that is affecting time. And you sort of have this timeless thing going on with your character.
Ooh.
So that's one option. Dragon's Ire is good if you want to fight. Metamorphosis lets you change your form. Naming is another one that is fairly powerful. It's sort of based on the mythological idea of if you know something's name, you have power over it.
Interesting.
Yeah, so for you, I would say either naming or Chronos would be good.
Naming or Chronos. I think Chronos sounds fun. So I have to minus 16 to get an art.
Not that much. So a new art is 7 XP for the first dot.
Okay.
And then it is current rating times 4. So you actually only have to pay 4 XP for the next dot.
That's pretty cool. So then I could do both of them. I could do naming
Yes.
and Chronos. Then I'll do naming as well.
Cool.
So -7 is 14.
I may put contract as one of my arts. I'm not really sure yet. My phone just freeze. Yep, my phone just froze. Womp womp.
Okay. How are you doing, Harry?
10 out of 10. I'm really happy with the murder nightmare assassin that I've seemingly made.
Oh dear.
He's big, he's fast as the wind, and he's super strong. Oh no.
I can't wait to see what Panda does.
He's also really stealthy, too. So you can just imagine this gigantic guy sneaking up on you.
I actually know a guy who can do that.
Yeah, it's about how you move. Like a bear. Bears just sneak up on you and they're right there. Wolves do it too. That's the thing.
I got really bored one day and I became a certified bear identification expert in the state of Montana.
That is very fun. My only experience with bears was hiking one time in Alaska, and then I worked as then I worked with wolves at a wolf conservation center. I was a wolf handler.
Oh, that's cool.
A lot of fun, amazing animals. This was when I was in high school, so I was like 125 pounds. So the wolves were all bigger than me.
Oh no.
So it's funny because wolves generally would avoid me because wolves are terrified of people for the most part. So even when I'd be like carrying a dead deer into their enclosure, because basically the way we feed them is animal control. Whenever a deer gets hit, brings it to us. Also, Whole Foods donates some stuff, but we only give it to the wolves. We never plan on releasing because you don't want wolves going into a Whole Foods.
That'd be pretty cool. Excuse me, the juice bar's taking too long.
That's the thing. People think wolves are manageable like coyotes. Wolves, however big you think a wolf is, it is much bigger. They're just so big.
I've actually gotten to feed and like
that's
play with
dope.
a wolf before too.
Yeah, that's always a great experience.
Gray wolves though; they were the Arctic wolf, so it's smaller.
Oh yeah, the Arctic Greys are incredible. We had one named Atka. He was there. He died recently because he was super old. Because they live to like 8 in captivity normally, and he was 16.
Oh wow.
The state of New York sent him a driver's license. We threw a birthday party for him. It was really sweet.
Oh, that's sweet.
It was funny because he was like a celebrity. He was an ambassador wolf, is what we called him. He'd go to Congress every time there was a vote on the Endangered Species Act, and everybody wanted to take photos with him. So he would always pass very unanimously because, people want their photos with Atka. We have a great photo on the wall of the Offices of the Wolf Conservation Center of a senator who wanted to take a photo, and everybody, we told him, just don't touch him. He doesn't like to be touched by people he doesn't know. He's well behaved. Like, this guy wasn't in any real danger. But, so the senator kneels down next to him. We're like, okay, that's like, you can do that. And then puts his arm around Atka. And Atka, teeth go out, fur goes up, hackles up, the meanest snarl you've ever heard in your life. And, like, the senator's face drains and he leaps back, and that's the moment we have the photo. It's the best thing.
Oh, I want to see that picture.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. I don't think it's on the internet, unfortunately, but it's framed on the photo of the wall of the Wolf Conservation Center in South Salem, New York. Go there and ask him about it. It's great.
Yeah, I used to work for someone who brought their pet wolf to work. Claimed it was a wolf. I'm dubious.
Almost definitely not a wolf because wolves make terrible pets. Like,
guessing a husky.
Yeah, probably a husky.
Maybe a coy dog.
Yeah,
Because it was
maybe.
really shy.
Because that would be a pet wolf, because wolves are also absurdly shy. But also, if you like owning things, don't get a pet wolf. Because if you put wolves indoors, they tend to resort to destructive play, so they don't go crazy from boredom, and thus destroy everything.
Yeah, this was a very chill canine.
Oh, then it wasn't a wolf at all.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing chill about them. I mean, they can be chill when they're on their own, but like around people, there's no way. Even the ambassador wolves, like there are 4 ambassador wolves right now since Akka passed. Zephyr, Alewa. Oh no, Akka was the 4th. Zephyr, Alewa, and Nakai. They're sweet as can be, but they're not like Akka where you can like really touch them. Like they're not even that friendly. But those are the ones that get the Whole Foods.
By the way, Rachel,
yes.
I just wanted to say that a new art that I just added on is Metamorphosis.
Awesome. That's very
That'll
cool.
be useful as an assassin.
Yes.
Scary as hell.
Hell yeah, that
turn
was
into
the whole
someone
point.
else. That
I mean, either Panda's going to be really happy that the Motley has become murder machines, or she's going to be like, "You're interfering with my shtick."
yeah, Panda, we all took your thing.
It's fine. I mean, she'll probably like, "I'm best murderer. Just accept it." Look at all these dead birds.
That's awesome.
So basically now that I'm basically down to only 1 XP, and I put 2 in Metamorphosis, and it says that because I have 2, it says worms and giants. So that means that if I need to, I could basically become a giant and like transform into a giant if I need to, or become a worm to escape things.
So let me look up the rules.
Yeah, it's on page 209.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, you see, now I feel like I'm useful. Thank you. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, go online and check out the Changeling, the 20th anniversary rulebook that is free. Rachel, where can they get that right now? Free today?
Through Storyteller's Vault. Yeah, it is specifically through Storyteller's Vault. It is part of an effort to try and inspire people to put more content up on the Vault. I am a Vault creator myself. It's a really great platform. The community of creators is really fantastic. And I am always willing to help people who want to get started but don't know how. So always feel free to message me. I'm Stolen Fires on Twitter. Anyway, so answering your question, Rob, looking at the rules, it seems like you would roll to cast, and then however big or small you grow depends on your successes.
Got it. Interesting. This is going to be interesting. Harry should do more Metamorphosis. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so
I'm leaving that to you.
Just so you know, so there's a mechanic called a bunk. A bunk is something that you do, a small act that you perform every time you cast the ritual or the cantrip. And if you use this bunk every time, you get a bonus to cast. So, like Alice in Wonderland, eat me, drink me. That's her bunk for getting bigger and smaller.
Okay.
So, and because you're a satyr, for you it might involve reciting a cantrip, like a little piece of poetry or a bit of a song.
Yama, 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 yama.
Mine's gonna be cracking my
Be like,
knuckles.
who let the dogs out? Who, ah!
All right. So, I think that's pretty much it. So we've decided. Oh, what are your new names? So, Harry, you're Al Asifa.
Asfa, yeah.
Okay, and Rob is Mercutio. Tori, do you want to keep Primrose?
I think my name is Primrose, but they call me Rosa.
Okay. I like it.
Barrio, yo. She's from a South Side Changeling.
I mean, I think the south side of Constantinople is the rich. I can't remember. Um. Okay. Uh. Awesome. So is there anything that anyone else wants to go over?
Um,
I'm ready to
no,
fuck
I
up
don't.
Byzantium.
I'm sorry.
I'm ready to fuck up Byzantium. Let's do it.
Yeah, so I guess the big question is, do you guys want to know each other already? So
I'll know him.
obviously,
I
yeah,
probably won't know Tori. I'm pointing
yeah.
to Tori's frame, and let me see if that actually is the same in OBS. It's not. I was pointing down, and Tori's above me. Rob's up there is pointing there. I play the troll. I'm not supposed to be smart.
Fair. Well, so well, the two of you, Harry and Rob, well, your characters have reincarnated. Tori has not, because she is an ageless she. So, uh, depending on how you want to play it, how much remembrance you have, and how much you want to sort of lean into it, you will recognize her the moment you see her. Maybe
Uh,
not the moment. It might take you a while to be like, you've got one of those faces. One of
Yeah.
those faces. Oh my God, Wales.
are you a celebrity? I think I saw you in that Gazette when one of the pigeons flew it by. I think I saw you on there. Yeah, because I don't have any remembrance. I took remembrance out, so
Okay.
kind of
Yeah,
screwed myself
so
on.
Is there any way that I remember them just fairy wise?
yeah, you have not died. Your mortal body has not died. You have not reincarnated.
So I can
So
tell what they are instantly.
yeah, so you are exactly the same person you were 100 years ago.
Great.
She's so lucky. I mean, she is so lucky. She gets to remember everything.
I'm working on an Arabic accent. I'm working on learning it. I'm gonna try to be good enough that it doesn't come off as racist. If I'm not that good, then I won't do it. But I will probably try to be good enough.
Or
uh,
if anything, you could if you're not good at it, you could just put a sign that says Arabic accent and just talk
Yeah,
about
hold up a
it.
sign, or just hold up a sign that says, "I my ancestry is actually Middle Eastern. I know I'm the whitest man alive."
I mean, it's not Arabic, but there's actually a lot of really good Turkish TV on Netflix.
Oh, I'll have to check it
He's
out.
like,
Yeah. Okay. So, are we done? Is there anything left to talk about?
It's up to you.
Awesome. I mean, I think we're good. And it's I think very well timed. Thank you everyone who tuned in to watch. Yes, Rob.
Last thing. We don't have any more points on glamour, willpower, or banality, correct?
No, you would have to spend XP to buy those up.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. So basically, we are done now. Gotcha.
Yep. So, does Harry have a question?
No, I was like,
Oh,
something's wrong, and I realized I put Panda in Tori's place and Tori in Panda's place.
oh dear. Okay, well, it's not a game of the last fairy tale without a gremlin. So,
And that gremlin's
situation
me.
normal.
And that gremlin
I
is
mean,
me.
situation normal, man. That's all I gotta say.
that's funny.
Uh, anyway,
I'm gonna fix it.
thank you everyone who tuned in and watched. I hope we were able to entertain you with our many silly digressions. I promise the next game will stay on task. Yes, Rob. Um, anyway, uh, we like to end each session by going around and promoting who we are, what we're involved with, other shows that you might want to check out. Let's start with Rob, because you're mugging the camera in that amazing way. So, Rob, what are you up to, or is there any projects you want to direct our attention to?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Rob Fury. I am currently working on some upcoming projects with the fantastic she that we have working in our one of our little screens that we have going on here, Tori. Doing some Bells of Fury production stuff coming up. By the way, don't forget, check our Instagram and our Facebook that we do have the first project up, which is I Love Champagne, and we have a brand new She-Hulk. I will let Tori talk about that project coming up. So basically hit us up on our Facebook, which is at Bells of Fury, and we're gonna have an Instagram coming up by the end of Friday. So you can check us out on Instagram at Bells of Fury myself and Sheet Hog. There you go. Oh gosh. And you know what the
That's
funny
funny.
thing is, like me and Tori are like looking up a video of the she, and the guy was like, "Yep, this is how you spell she. Doesn't look like it, does it? But this is how you spell it." And
Yep.
I was like, "That's hilarious." But yeah, that's for that. And on top of that, check us out. We will be at Anime Pasadena in November, so check us out there. And a cool thing, actually, in July, if the travel ban actually lifts, I will be attending the Geeked Out in Snug Harbor Comic Con in Staten Island in July 10th to the 11th. Go check that out if the travel ban is lifted. If not, whatever. If anything,
Everybody stay home so the travel ban
exactly.
will lift.
Exactly. Please stay home, wash your hands. And if anything, you can always follow me on my social media at official Rob Fury across the board. Uh,
Hey, thank you so much, Rob. Tori, what about you? Tell us about She-Hulk.
I'm just gonna repeat everything that Rob just said really fast. No, yes. So She-Hulk was, going to come out in March. It's still March, so it's all good. It's coming. We've just had some, issues just because people, business people are having a hard time right now. So I am totally fine with not having my entertainment out yet. But I think it'll be exciting because when you're bored, why not watch a very short indie type of film?
uh,
um, but yes, it'll be really cool. I'm excited to put it out. Rob, of course, helped me out with that, and it'll be fun. It'll be our second project that we're launching, and we're gonna do a fun podcast about all of the things that are to come now that we live in Los Angeles. And hey, we have to be indoors for a really long time. Let's get crazy. Let's make some
yeah,
interesting entertainment. I'm excited.
yeah.
it's getting weird, baby.
Last but not least, Harry, what are you up to?
Yes, not as many things, but it's good.
I thought he's like, all right, here's the list.
No, there is still that list. So my YouTube channel, don't worry, it's not dead. Salubri Cat, will be a new video coming soonish once I get my microphone. That's a thing. YouTube, Salubri Cat, look it up. We got 3 videos up right now. Yeah, check them out. They're good. There's 2 of them are about World of Darkness. The others are really weird, random short film I made. It's also fun. Check it out. I host a podcast, Saratoga by Night. There was not an episode this week because didn't have my mic, and everybody was moving out of school because of the coronavirus. So that's a lot of fun. But there will be next week. It's a Hunter the Vigil Chronicle set in the 1700s and 1770s on the eve of battle, the Battle of Saratoga, in the Revolutionary War. So things are crazy in that one. You should go see because there's a lot of plot threads, and my players are really anxious to pull on them, but are pulling nonetheless. So it's fun. Also, I play a character on Blood City, a Chicago by Night Chronicle here on the Onyx Path, which is 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. I play another character in Little Brook Reunion, a Changeling the Lost Chronicle, here on Thursdays, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and of course on this show. I plug my podcast, I plug my other shows. Oh, soon there's going to be a show. I don't know if it's going to be, I think it's going to be on the Onyx Path. I'm not 100% sure yet, but David Tavares, the host of Blood City, Chicago by Night, is putting together a Mage the Awakening game set in Seattle in the 1890s. And I'm going to play an anarcho-syndicalist labor organizer. That's why I'm growing out this mustache. Yeah, I look terrible right now, but I'm growing it out with the hopes of it looking presentable by the time that show starts sometime in April. But yeah, I'm excited for it. It'll be a lot of fun. Mage is a crazy system. I was reading that rule book and just whoa, but it's good. It's good. It's really cool. The Force is mage, so lightning and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Rachel,
Yes.
I totally forgot to mention this, but I do have to mention my contact sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, you can check out the contact.
Oh,
But
those are pretty.
yes, these are my green ones that I actually use for my Izuku Midoriya cosplay, and my contact sponsor, which is Optic Rosmos from Poland. That's OPTYK.ROZMUS on Instagram. Go check them out because they have amazing theatrical contact, and because most of the world is like blind like me, these are prescription and they're extremely amazing price. They're at like these were only like $22, so they're at a great price, and they ship and you get them within like 2 weeks. So I definitely wanted to shout out my sponsors because I do wear them at every game that we have Changelings. I totally forgot to mention them, so I definitely want to mention my sponsors. Thank you.
Okay, I just put that in our Twitch chat so our viewers can see that. Optic Rosmus. I am your humble storyteller. My name is Rachel. Let's see. Go buy Changeling. It's free today. If you're listening as we are broadcasting, if you're listening to us on any day that is not March 19th, that is probably not free. I'm sorry. But check anyway. Who knows? Uh, yeah, so what do I have? I just started a Scarred Lands game with Tori. It's amazing.
Tori's
Yay!
that way.
I'll just
You're
point
also that way,
over
so it's like,
Yeah, I know I'm in the middle.
yep.
I'm just gonna point and hope. But yeah, so we are on the Plastic Age Plays network. We're playing Scarred Lands. I'm playing a little rat-faced druid. It should be fun.
I love that. I'm like, wait, time out. Are you Splinter?
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm a very young Splinter. I'm like, but still.
Yes. Splinter by appearance, probably not personality. We'll see. We'll see how she turns out.
Yeah, I'm excited to start meeting some of these characters because we are a bunch of weirdos, and I love it. My character is so nice, and then not.
Oh, they have a they did a Shadowrun playthrough. I love Shadowrun.
Yeah.
So
That's
technically,
system.
if you're not Splinter and you're young, then are you bored?
I guess so. As long
Getting
as I'm not boring.
No, because a board when it gets
Yeah.
old, gets Splinter, man, that felt flat. Never
No,
mind.
I was trying to build on you. I'm sorry.
I love how Harry was like, you know what? I'm gonna just put my head down after that joke, and I'm like, oh, never mind.
Oh, I was trying to make a boring pun. I'm sorry.
I thought you were calling me. You thought I was calling you boring. I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. I was like,
No, sorry, I was trying to riff. Anyway, so on that note, thank you all for watching. We will be here at the same time next week. I'm looking forward to entertaining you.
Awesome.
Peace.
Bye bye, people. Take care.